I mean, the Eagles are really dismantling their defense.
Yes,
They
they
had
are.
this really good defense, but it got smoked in the Super Bowl, and it's old and expensive. And now they're going to trade Darius Slay. They're going to let James Bradbury, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, T.J. Edwards, Javon Hargrave, and Fletcher Cox walk in free agency. Has 6 starters. Are the Niners now the team to beat in the NFC, Miriah?
I mean, I'm the type that the following year, like until the next team comes in and does it, it has to be, the teams to beat are the Chiefs and the Eagles. Those are the two top teams, the last year.
Until you do it, you ain't done it. I get that. Yeah.
I mean, we could look better on paper. We could think we're the better team, outright. But until we come in and actually beat them, and we could say, yeah, we would have beat them if we would have had a quarterback with 2 arms, whatever. But until we actually go in and do it, you have to tip your cap to them. So
I think they're a team to beat, like a team. I don't know if they're the team. We don't really know that until the season starts, right? Like, to be fair, there's a lot of teams who look great on paper before the season starts, and then the season starts and it's just like some of those teams fall flat, or they'll be really good at the first half of the season and then the second half they fall flat. Or you could be like the 49ers. You can suck for like the first half of the season and then, just turn it up in the second half. But yeah, like they're a team to beat, you know what I mean? And we'll just have to see how they get better, this off season. I feel like every year we're like, I don't know if they got better, this off season. And then lo and behold, they do actually go pretty far, if injuries are not an issue. Right. So, they're a team. We'll see if they are the team. But the Eagles dismantling looks pretty good for the 49ers right now, I think.
I would have to agree with that. Exactly what Steph and Miriah both said. I would just like to add that I think this free agency, there's going to be a lot of movement that is going to be happening around this free agency. And I think that as far as like we are going to be a team to beat, but there's going to be some moves around free agency, and they're going to tell them what's going to happen between the jump with who's going to be in the NFC in the end, who's going to be in the AFC in the end. Like no one's going to know, like in the NFC, like who's going to be, who knows. And we always start slow, and then we get upset and we get mad. We stomp our feet for like the first few weeks, and we throw temper tantrums, and then all of a sudden we just flip a script and turn it on, and then we're great. So that's kind of how it works for us.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles going to lose 6 starters, but they're still going to add someone eventually. Right, so we don't really know what these teams are going to. It's fair. All I want to point out is like, yeah, they're going to take a step back on defense, but they're like the opposite of the Niners in this sense. They're going to take a step back on defense, but they have the quarterback. Unless you don't like Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts. The Niners won't necessarily take a step back on defense. They're going to keep their team together, but they have a huge question at quarterback. So what do you like? Do you believe in the stability and dependability of a franchise quarterback, or do you believe in the stability and dependability of the Niners defense? I guess I would go with the quarterback in today's NFL. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out. The Eagles really aren't going to be the same on defense. And the reason the Niners lost to the Eagles primarily is because of the Eagles defense. So we'll see how that changes things.
But the 49ers have, like, in all these years that we've had this quarterback question, they've been a good team, aside from the 1 year where they were riddled with injuries. And that was unfortunate. But, besides that, it's hard to argue that they're still one of those top teams, despite all that. So, I don't know.
It's like, if you put it in NBA terms,
that's why I feel like they don't prioritize quarterback, or, they wouldn't be one of those teams that would go all in on a Lamar Jackson or something like that, because who they have, they're comfortable with. They've been comfortable with, because they know they can win with these guys despite not having that like top tier, quarterback.
It's like in the NBA, like to win a championship, you need a superstar. Well, the Niners are like the NFL. They're like the really good NBA team without the superstar. They're like, well, we got 5 all-stars, but yeah, but you don't have that top 10 player, and that's kind of the way I look at it, because that's what the quarterback is in the NFL. Yeah. Daryl Smock says, Grant and ladies, why are people talking about Brady? I thought he got a deal with Fox, or was that just a rumor? Also,
not this year.
Yeah, let me read this real quick. This came out yesterday in Yahoo Sports. Scott Zolak, who's like the announcer for the Patriots. He's a member of the Patriots broadcast team. He said Brady may go to Miami. I think that's in play. I do. I think the possibility of him coming out of retirement is definitely 100% in play. You can sit there and look at the kitten tweet from yesterday. I don't buy that. This isn't me saying it. He goes, this isn't someone close to Brady. It started with Rich Eisen. Eisen's at the combine. Multiple people dropped the hints. This is Colin Cowherd. He knows some Fox people. I don't think he's going to call games. How does that deal get done? How do you sign a guy to a $375 million 10-year deal to call games? He's not even going to do it next year. I know his handlers have moved to Miami. It's built for him. He's looking at private schools for his kids. Cowherd talks about the San Francisco 49ers offense. He's not talking about San Francisco. He's talking about Mike McDaniel in Miami. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The one point that I was going to add to the quarterback conversation that Miriah said that was really brilliant. Actually, I honestly believe that the 49ers just need to have a quarterback that has two arms and is healthy whenever we get ready to get to that point. Because she's right. If we had a quarterback that had two arms and it was healthy and was halfway decent, we would have won that game. I mean, then
in that case, they should have 3 on the active roster and 2 on the practice squad. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, they shouldn't be searching for people like off the couch in January. They should be proactive here. Yeah,
absolutely. Yep.
Antonio says Crystal just said something I suffer in every argument. Almost every team wishes the season almost every team wishes they had the season the Niners had, but they do not understand. We want a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Well, it's not the Lions, it's not the Cardinals, it's the 49ers. Right. And there's a reason why this fan base is global. It's because of the Super Bowls that they won. Mm-hmm. Gabriel Boyce says they could have traded down for Jones. That's why Twitter was on fire about him at 3. Tripping. What are we talking about?
Mac Jones.
Oh. Yeah, it's true. That is true. Mm-hmm. Also, it's Mac Jones. There's something weird about him, right? I don't like him. He's like a dirty player or something. There's something weird about it. And like the reports that that the coaches he couldn't take criticism. Like, dude.
Yeah, did you see that from him?
Okay.
He was whining, so they had to do. Man,
so many things about him really rub me the wrong way.